That's a great background that you have.
Thank you, thank you. I thought it was appropriate.
Yeah.
Good afternoon and welcome to the First Reviews podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Samir Oliveros, director of the upcoming film Luckiest Man in America. Samir, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm excited.
Great.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining me. Luckiest Man in America is about a fascinating story of Michael Larson, who essentially broke the game of press your luck. How did you first hear of the story of Michael Larson, and when did you want to adapt it into a film?
I like to believe that the movie came to me. When I write, I like to frequent Goodwills and thrift shops to look for film negatives and photos because those are always like good inspiration for characters. And I was browsing a thrift shop in LA one day and I came across a VHS that had a taping of Pressure Luck. It wasn't the Michael episode, but I saw the colors and I had never heard of it, so I started researching. And then I came across the scandal, and then I went looking for the movie because I thought this must be an amazing movie, and there was no movie, so that's when I decided to make it.
Oh wow, wonderful! Wow. So you landed on a actual VHS of a taping of the show.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I grew up in the era of I started watching Wheel of Fortune, and so I didn't actually um, watch Press Your Luck, but the element of the movie that I find so fascinating and that I really like how you adapted is these incredible colors that I have behind me. I thought you adapted everything so perfectly, and I actually went to go watch the original um, the actual show of Michael Larson after the fact, and everything from the set, the decor, the attire, from what they were wearing was just translated so perfectly, in my opinion. So my question is, how much time did you invest in actually translating all of these little intricate details to the full elements of the movie?
Um, well, we had only 6 weeks of pre-production, um, but I was in conversations with my production designer for a while. And because we were lucky enough to have Bill Carruthers Jr., who was the son of the creator of the show, be our creative consultant, we had access to a bunch of archival stuff and some pressure luck behind the scenes that allowed us to have a very clear plan when the time came to execute. And because we were also dramatizing some events and we knew that people were going to be doing what you did, like comparing it to the original one, we knew that we had to be extremely faithful to the thing that people can find and that they remember. So we tried to do like a perfect replica of everything that we knew about the show. And then when the time came to execute, I think she did an incredible job. And it really feels like we're in the set.
Yeah, yeah, no, it definitely does. Definitely does. You have such an incredible cast in this film. Paul Walter Hauser, Shamir Anderson, who is a local actor from Toronto, Walton Goggins, Haley Bennett, just to name a few. Paul Walter Hauser actually looks so incredibly accurate to Marco Larson. So, did you have him in mind to be in this role, or did he approach the role himself?
No, he was definitely at the top of the list.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yeah. So you saw Michael Larson in him when you were thinking of who to cast.
Yeah, there were a couple of actors. There was like four that had the look, but then we also were looking for somebody that came from comedy, but could also um, pull off like the dramatic beats and had done drama and yeah, and had the chops to have that balance between drama and comedy. And I had seen Richard Jewell, and then at the time when we were about to start casting, Blackbird came out. And that's when I said, okay, this guy really can be our perfect Michael.
When I was reading the pre-production, backstory on the film, I saw that it was originally titled "Press Your Luck." Was that just like a pre-production title, And or was this a proposed actual title?
No, it was always the temp one while
Okay.
we were in the movie,
Okay.
and then while we were in the process, we all fell in love with a bunch of the lines. I don't want to give too much away,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but the current title, like people say it throughout the movie, and we thought it would be the perfect one for the movie.
It focuses more on him as a
Exactly.
person and his character and what he achieved, as opposed to it just being a game show.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Another element of the movie that I really thought was important, and you mentioned it, the dramatization portions with the behind the scenes and the production and all of that. Um, at what point did you was that always involved in the original film, or was it originally like did you have in when you thought of the movie, was it going to be a translation of Michael Larson, and when did you write in all of that extra behind the scenes dramatization?
No, from the very beginning, because we knew that the clip was the foundation. It's 40 minutes, and it was both tapings back to back, but nobody knew what had happened before, during the commercial breaks, in between both tapings and after. So we knew that that's where the drama would come in, but most importantly, nobody knew what was happening in the control room and what was going on with the executives, which, according to Bill Jr., were running around like headless chickens. So that's when we thought, okay, this is our playground. This is where we come in to fill in those blanks, and that's how we started writing the movie.
Awesome. The whole movie has this really surreal feel to it, and it's in parts with the lighting and the effects. There are moments where you almost have like a little bit of he has a little bit of an out of body experience. Um, and did you incorporate the elements of the lights and into the film that way? And what was that writing process like to make that movie feel so surreal?
Yeah, yeah, we had several moments that were scripted. Like we knew that the board had to breathe. We always spoke about the board like a beast. So for the sound design and the production design, we always said it needs to feel like it's alive, and that's why it's going to breathe. So that's why you see it breathing with the lights. And then we also thought about it snoring when it was like turned off during the commercial break. So if you pay attention during the sound design, you hear a lion snoring like in one of the layers. And because the whole movie is about a man taming the beast, right? And that's how we conceived it from the beginning.
I don't know about you, but I hate casino games. I don't like going to the casino. I hate playing slot machines. It brings me a lot of anxiety. Um, and this board, and the way you filmed, the way you shot the sequences, um, even though in moments you have a feeling that it's going to land on a certain spot, it still brought you a level of anxiety um, that it was just very anxious the whole time. And was that easy to capture because of all of the lights, or were there certain effects that you used with the camera to capture that?
The capturing was pretty boring, but then in the editing is when we give it the pacing and we make it anxiety inducing. Because we wanted to place the audience in Michael's feet,
Mm-hmm.
and to put them in his POV and see what he was dealing with, like the enemy that was in front of him, the beast that was in front of him. So yeah, that was all done in post, and that was the focus, that every time that he was pressing, we would need to feel that anxiety.
All right. Okay. So this movie is about Press Your Luck. It is about Michael Larson, but it's also the game show Press Your Luck. If you could make an unofficial trilogy of game shows, what would be the next two in that sequence, just for fun?
Movies
Yes.
about I would make a Survivor movie.
Okay. Survivor movie.
one of them goes rogue and it's a psychological thriller.
Oh, cool.
And then I would make uh, a Japanese game show, uh, twisted drama. Um,
Okay.
yeah, have you heard about Eggplant?
No, no, I haven't.
Yeah, they have insane game shows in Japan where they put them through pretty crazy psychological experiences.
Oh,
So I think that would be the trilogy.
oh, awesome. Okay. All right. Samir, thank you so much for your time. This has been awesome.
Thank
Uh,
you, Stefan.
anyone watching this interview can check out Luckiest Man in America. It starts in theaters here in Canada, April 4th. Samir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
You too. You too.